It's Elaine and Mark from the honeymoon period, and we are back to talk about episode 2, season 5, said it the wrong way around, of Stranger Things.
I've got more issues with how formal that introduction was, but
You know what it is? It's because here in the northeast of England, there is a storm and it is raging above our heads. And I was thinking, I best say something that's really clear because all I can hear behind me is like the roof about to come off.
yeah. So I'm sure this is not a publicity stunt for Wicked for good. It is getting pretty windy.
It is, yeah. Watch out
We've
for
not done any witches there.
flying witches.
To be fair, the witches didn't. Well, the witches do fly, but I
Oh,
don't think.
come! Are you about to go into Wicked? This is because you've been to see Wicked for good and you want to talk about it, but you can't talk about it because I haven't seen it, even though I kind of know everything that goes on in Wicked for good.
And you're not going to go see it either.
That's true, yeah. Not on your Nelly. How many hours? 72?
2.25. It's not that. It's that. Right. Okay. I'm off to see Kill Bill tomorrow, and yeah.
Yeah, both of them together.
And like I've just seen on the Odeon app, it tells you the time it starts, which is 6:30, and then the time it finishes, which is 11:15.
What? Oh, Mark. It is reminding me, though, of, just to bring it back to Stranger Things, it's reminded me, though, of how long these episodes are and how many of them there are. It is, I have to say, it is already feeling like a bit of a slog getting through them. And we watched this episode separately,
yes,
and we still haven't got on to episode 3 yet. And I think that's because I keep thinking, not another hour, not another hour. It does feel long.
Plus, we wanted to record this before we went on, so we were spoiler free. But yeah,
that as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is relatively short. Like, this was about an hour, which, in the grand scheme of things, I've seen some of the episode lengths coming up on.
Oh, no, really?
It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Let's go into it. So I think we've been discussing before we started, and I think we've got 4 main plot strands to talk about. So I think we need to start off with the cold open, which is the Wheeler house.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, very good.
Wow, why not? Yeah.
Mark, just to let everyone know, just before we started recording, Mark and I went through all the names of the characters, including going, Winona. We can't just call her Winona. So we eventually came up with Joyce, but it did take us quite a while. So yeah, well done, the Wheeler house.
The Wheeler house, the invasion by the
Demogorgon.
I'm never confident saying that. I was thinking I'm going to get it wrong. And then the subsequent plot strand with Nancy and Mike going through and investigating and questioning the mum, who was incredibly calm for what she'd been through.
With that throat slash.
I loved the cold open to this.
I agree.
I think it's the purest horror that they've done for a long time in Stranger Things. I mean, not just the 3 years between the last season and the first one. I don't think I've seen something as close to this in terms of, it felt like it had consequences when the dad, whose name I don't know,
Ted,
is pushed back and covered in blood. Like, it felt he was hurt in a way that people don't really get hurt. And even though, like, we've seen Max last season get her bones all broken and everything like that felt violence in a quite supernatural way, which I think is different from this. The gore's coming out, the blood seeping out of the wounds, and it felt a lot more real to me. And I loved this thing. It was pure horror. It was back to like the monster movies and kind of slashers from the 80s for me.
And hiding as well. Like, I don't think we've seen a hiding scene with so much at stake of a mother and a young child hiding in a place where they are also at risk, like being in water.
Yes.
And you're thinking, you're going to run out of air, you're going to have to come back up. It's not like, they're hiding in a tunnel somewhere and they can escape out the other end. I thought that was a brilliant set piece. And also it really reminded me of like the houses of the 80s and the decor of the 80s and, having your big bath with, like, I can't remember if it was pink in the show or not, but I can imagine, did you ever have like a big green bath or a big pink bath or have a grandma that had something like that? And bathroom decor was
like
colourful.
Olive colours.
Avocado-y.
That's the one I'm looking for.
It just reminded me of that, and I thought, that's a proper bath, that is.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of the I'm aware of the trope and from real life as well as in films.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. Can I tell you the bit that I'm not so keen on and what I wish had happened?
Yes.
And that is, I felt there should have been more death. I think there should, when you're talking about consequences, I think you're right. There were real consequences. Karen, the mum, is, fighting with her wine bottle.
Yeah.
Ted's going, what on earth is it? I think, do you have a golf club or something? That sort of thing. When I saw Ted go over, I was like, oh, I think he's just going to be knocked unconscious here. I would have liked to have seen more happen, because I think with other people they would have died. If they were nobodies, they would have died. If they were just soldiers, soldiers would have just died. And I thought they were doing the same thing with the mum, and I thought, oh, good,
yes. Yeah.
that's what they're doing. They're absolutely going to take her out, and it's going to be a dying breath, and then Holly's disappeared into the upside down, and then you've got a real stakes of Holly. Their parents have died, and they've got to go and save their sister.
So, is there any mention of the dad after this?
I think there's a moment maybe in the hospital.
In the forefront of my mind, I don't know what's happened to the dad.
I just don't feel the dad is dead, and I think they're not reacting as if the dad is dead, but no one seems to care about the dad, which I do. This is why I have a problem with it. Yeah.
I mean, I also have problems with them. The only thing that we can do is go and speak to Mum, who's just come out of surgery.
Because she can't speak.
Yes, she can't speak. I'm also going to raise a point that I really struggle to take this seriously, because you watch a lot of real crime dramas.
I do.
And
I've just been watching Highland Cops today.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, God. And in those, quite often, the police would need to get in contact with a victim and a victim who's not necessarily feeling their best, and get information out of them. Like you saw here with Nancy and Mike going to the mother.
Because they're a witness.
Information. Yeah, because they're a witness. I struggle to take it seriously when they're saying, what do you know about Mr. Whatsit? And all I'm thinking is of this little cheese, this corn puff crisp with cheese flavoured powder all over it. It's just a stupid name, Mr. Whatsit.
It is a stupid name. I think it's a childlike name, though, isn't it? It's like, that's what a child would call someone who she doesn't know. Oh, he's Mr. Whatsit, and that also takes away a lot of. Well, it didn't take away a lot of the criticism, but the criticism we levelled was like, oh, surely they should have known that when a child is talking to something that isn't there, and you're having this major supernatural event going on, maybe you should pay more attention to it. But because it's like Mr. Whatsit, and she had a book, I think she's meant to have had a book called Mr. Whatsit or something like that. That's where they thought she'd taken it from. It makes more sense to me that a child would do that, and a child that she's meant to be quite young, as we discussed last time.
Yes.
I really liked the scene as ludicrous as it was, and then I liked them pretending to be staff, and Mike pretending to be a patient.
Yeah, it's
very tropey.
It's always good fun seeing someone sneak around a hospital being dressed as a doctor and everything.
Yeah, and hiding from the doctor that won't let and also is a misogynist, the misogynist doctor who won't let Nancy, and keeps calling her all sorts of names. So I liked that. And I liked the setup of, Sneaky and Mum, we're here to see you, and we need to find information. What's this, Mr. Watson? The bit, as I did say this off to you off pod, but our son, who is no longer with us, is the same name as Vecna. So when she was writing down what's Mr. Whatsit's first name, and I just watched her slowly in like graphic detail, with the pen in her hand, shakily write out the name of my son who has died. I had a bit of a moment with not like a moment, but it was a bit like I could have done without that, but equally I could have done without it in terms of like, come on, are we not there yet?
Yes.
You don't need to ask your mum who this bloke is. You know who it is, for heaven's sake. What's his first name? Oh, it's Henry. No, like, have you not worked it out?
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing to go down, isn't it? Oh, she's got an imaginary friend. Let's go and harass my mum. You either know it's Vecna or you're really early going down a...
And also, I'm not being funny, but Henry's like a really common name. Like, it's not a weird name, is it?
It's not Aloysius or something like that.
I was just about to say something like Alfonso or something. It's not unusual for the time. Like, there's plenty of Henrys about.
Yes.
How do we know that it's that one Henry that turns into... Anyway, so that was my sort of personal, oh, here we go again. But also my, come on, Stranger Things, this is getting a bit silly. But I did enjoy all of that. I thought you were totally right. That set piece at the beginning, it was real horror, the real stakes. Sad that they didn't follow through with the stakes, but obviously the mum had to be alive enough for her to do a, pencil on a bit of paper. Yeah. And I do like the give Nancy something to do. The old Nancy Drew, she goes off and investigates and, all of that sort of stuff. At least it gives her something to do. And they're putting things together. It is investigative, which I like.
Well, you know that she's got more stories to...
I understand she's got a spin-off,
yes.
But in book form.
Yes.
Fair enough. It lends itself to it. I do, yeah. I mean, I'm already, the parallels with Nancy Drew and everything. And she seems to be the only person who's doing any sort of, in inverted commas, investigative journalism in the whole of Hawkins, even though she's not really. She's the new young Jessica Fletcher or something like that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So next on the list, we've got Hopper and 11.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be honest here. I've got very little recollection of what happened in the Upside Down.
They just argued.
Yes, it feels like 11 followed Holly into the Upside Down.
Yes.
She met up with Hopper. He got angry with her for following her.
Yes.
Him following her in. And then they just moved the chess pieces about to be ready for the next episode.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much more I
would have liked more in the Upside Down. I mean, we've seen that there's a science base there.
Yes.
We didn't talk about this last week. Linda Hamilton's in there.
Yeah.
And is getting nothing to do at the moment. So I'd like to see more of Linda Hamilton, and
She's cutting open things.
She's cutting open things and looking gruff.
Yes.
But other than that, I just kind of feel like show me something else within the Upside Down. Obviously, at the end, you see this big wall of stuff.
Yes.
I had already been spoiled on that because they had released those photographs when they were doing the coming up in season. I didn't go looking for it. It was one of those things that they were releasing stills, and that was one of the big things. And there was some discussion online about who was in the foreground. Clearly now it's Hopper and 11 in the foreground. I wasn't particularly overawed by it. I think maybe I was meant to be like, oh wow, there's this big wall. It kind of gave me Game of Thrones vibes, and not good Game of Thrones vibes.
Yeah.
And I didn't really understand it. I don't know why we haven't seen this. There was nothing really to go alongside it. It was just, oh, here's a big CGI wall. So, yeah, I wasn't massively taken with it. I am a little bit bored by the Upside Down, I have to be honest. We'll see. We'll see as we go along. What's next?
Dustin, Steve and Jonathan.
Yeah.
If I ever get beaten up, I hope my friends are more sympathetic than Steve. I felt that absolutely, given Steve and Dustin's relationship in the past, and I get that probably everyone seems to be a bit sick of Dustin's shit in the first place. But when you find someone who is clearly had the shit kicked out of it, I did find it a little bit unsympathetic, and like you kind of want to help your friend and
be a bit more like, not just like, oh, what happened to you? Like,
oh, he didn't even turn up. Yeah, because his lips hanging off.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they don't know what we know, which is he really, really got. It was a violent scene.
I think the clues are there,
but I agree. I totally agree. I think the clues are absolutely
the
there.
black eye and the blood do indicate that was
and the fact that your friend's been jumped
by
dickheads from school. You'd think you would be a little bit more sympathetic. Yeah, I'm not enjoying this whole plot line, I have to admit. I know, like what you said last week, they're doing the thing where they have to be split apart to come back together again, but there's something not quite ringing true here, and I don't know whether that's going to come back and bother me later on down the line.
And then we've also got the
rivalry?
Yes, the rivalry between Steve and Jonathan,
which has been going on for a long time. I mean, Steve was Jonathan's bully. Steve physically bullied Jonathan.
I think I felt we left that behind about about 10 years ago in real time, probably about a month in the. But I don't see why we're going back to. I don't see what we've got to achieve with going back to that storyline of them being love rivals for Nancy's attention.
Because Nancy and Jonathan, like, I just find them. I've never bought into Nancy and Jonathan. I find him very ineffectual as a person.
And then Steve clearly had an attraction to Robin. Found out that
Robin was gay.
Yeah, she was not not going to be interested anytime soon. And but then is he then? It feels like we're going over ground which we've moved on from.
Yeah. I found the scenes together with them in the van to be a little bit sort of. It didn't really do much for me.
No.
Again, I think after that first part of the episode, it sort of fizzled out a little bit for me, and maybe that was because there was so much good stuff happening at the beginning.
And it was getting the pieces in place for the rest of the series, or certainly the next couple of episodes to take us to the mid-season break, I guess. And then finally, we've got Will Robin and Winona Ryder. Yes.
Which should be funny, and I think was funny, but I found that I really love a reference, right? You know me. You know our shared language of pop culture.
Yeah.
Like, today you referenced a children's TV show really randomly. You didn't even know why you'd done it, but you know, like we use that language. You're thinking about it now.
I don't know which one I referenced.
You don't want me saying that on the podcast.
I do.
You don't.
Go on.
It was Mr Tumble.
I don't remember referencing him.
Yeah, Mr Tumble, helped by his friend Maddie.
Oh yes.
Yes, from. What's the program she has? How does it work?
Maddie Moore is like a CBeebies stalwart. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. There you go, Mr Tumble. Who just segue. Wayne Rooney said encouraged him to have a vasectomy because he was so, not personally, but he was so. This is going to be a very weird one, isn't it? Do you think I should name the podcast then, Mr Tumble Encourager? Yeah, because he was so sick of watching Mr Tumble, it's sort of like, it's a joke. Oh, yeah, I was so sick of watching Mr Tumble, I went off and had a vasectomy. So that made headlines today.
I was more interested when I thought Mr Tumble had I think when we've been confiding in Justin. You know. Sorry, I just need to change into Mr Tumble to deal with this.
Yeah, fair enough. I think you probably need to change it, Mr Tumble, to deal with a lot of things.
How do you sign vasectomy?
What, in Makaton?
Yes.
Don't know
probably isn't a sign for that, is
probably
that?
Isn't a sign for that.
Yeah.
Right, back to what are we talking about? What are we talking about? That's it. Pop culture references. Pop culture references. Now, I love a pop culture reference, but I like it done carefully.
Yes.
I liked, for example, the Mr Sandman musical outro to this episode. Dum 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 dum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. Back to you're very welcome. Back to the Future, you know, nice reference to that, and also in your dream, Mr Sandman dreaming, lovely, right? I do not need references to the flux capacitor over and over and over again, and I don't need Robin shouting "Great Scott." Okay. I just don't.
I'm somewhere in between on this. I found the flux capacitor reference I found quite cute, and I found it quite fun that you say that, and that's what you would say. It's like I'm friends with the rear phalanges gone, and you know the left phalanges missing, and stuff like that. I found it quite a cute reference. The jumping up and saying "Great Scott" really took me out of it. I think that was a step too far for me. But yeah, I'm on the same boat as you, just maybe not as far.
Yeah, I think Robin shtick is starting to get me a little bit, and I'm hoping it might calm. I really like the storyline that she's got with her girlfriend, and obviously she is unable to be out. Will clearly is unable to be out, you know, so I like that they're gonna have, you know, I hope that they're gonna have conversations.
Part of me does just assume that never gets developed any further, and
you do wonder what they're going to do with it, but I do like that story, and I would prefer something more emotionally resonant like that rather than her doing all of this like comedy all the time.
It just feels like we're meant to look shocked at the certain point when Will comes out, and it's like, and we all worked it out like 4 years ago.
But he's also dealing, I think, with his own sexuality, which hasn't been made explicit, I don't think, but I definitely, from what I read and from what's implied as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that storyline. I hope they do something decent with it. I could do without the comedy element to Robin. I really I love that bit with the radio last week, but I think it's short sections, and then I would like a bit more emotion.
I think it's just, like I said, I'm fine with the reference of picking a pop culture thing from the time to go for to fool someone who wouldn't know, like just make a reference, and it's just when you get that. It's when you get that hat. It's Great Scott was wearing a hat on top of a hat for me. But yeah, I fully understand.
Did you get the ending with Holly going into the Vecna house, the Henry's house? I can't remember Henry's. What is Henry's surname? I can't remember now.
Kissinger.
I should know. I should remember this from the stage show, because all of my referencing now is from that stage show. But anyway, goes into his family home.
Yes.
And it was all lovely and dreamlike. It took me a while to get that. Did you just get it, that it was like a pretense that he had created for it?
Yeah.
It just took me a while.
But I watched this on a train, so I had no distractions. It was, apart from someone coming around seeing if I fancied a coffee at some point, I guess. But yeah, and then me
did that with me.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I understood like it was a cute reveal that Will had been seeing in his visions, that Vecna had been stalking Holly all the way through this, and I assume that this is going to lead into if Vecna goes after someone else, Will be able to shout that out.
It's like a power that he can use. It does feel a little bit end of the line Harry Potter to me, where like Harry's seeing through Voldemort's eyes, or they're linked together in some way.
Yes,
that it was reminding me of that a little bit, and I wasn't quite sure if I was there.
Well, I think what's going to have to happen is the gang's going to have to go off and find 7 Horcruxes that may be scattered around the.
It did feel a little bit like they're it's not inexplicably, but into somethingly linked. I can't think of the word. That they're linked forever. And if you kill one, you kill the other. That's kind of what I'm feeling is happening here, which is giving me a little bit of the old Harry Potters.
That hadn't come to me, but yes, you are spot on.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy to go on. It's not like I've lost it with it or anything like that. I'm happy to go on to episode 3. I'm looking forward to episode 3. I'm hoping we might see more of these things that are making us more excited, like these not just set pieces, but a little bit more ramping up of the storyline, and maybe some surprise. I would like some surprises that don't feel, because at the moment when something does happen, it just kind of, apart from that beginning bit which we talked about here, it just kind of makes me go, oh, I think I've seen this before in this film or this book, or it feels very derivative. I'd like to see something within the focus of the show that surprises me, and I'm looking forward to seeing if that happens.
Well, when I was searching for the length of episodes, just for my own hubris and like self-punishment, I noticed that on IMDb, the 4th episode from this run is the best rated episode of anything. So
it's good to look forward to.
Yeah, something like I don't think we're wasting our time with this.
No.
I think there is.
I know, I genuinely don't. It doesn't feel like a hate watch or anything like that. I really, really like Stranger Things. I really do. I'm being very picky because we're going through it episode by episode, and that often happens when we do a recap. You have so much more to say because you're doing it after every single show that you see, whereas if you've seen it all to the end, you have much more of an overarching feel about it.
Yes.
But yeah, this one I think started off really, really good. little bits here and there that I could do without, but I'm excited to see what goes next.
Absolutely.
So we will be back for episode 3 and we will see you then. Thanks very much for listening.
Might be a couple of days because, like I say, I've got a 4.5 hour film to watch tomorrow. So, yeah.
Great. I look forward to you coming back and not being tired at some point in the future. Oh, is that your...
That's my Duolingo telling me that I need to do another lesson to keep my streak going.
I was thinking it was the little owl coming up to tell you to do another lesson.
His name's Duolingo.
I think that's time to go.
Yes. See you next time.
Bye.